I hope you're all well this morning. We're on to day 12 already. I can't actually believe it. So today we're going to move into some of our balances. So really grounding down through one leg, balancing on the other, because life is all about finding that balance. There's always a bit of a push and a pull, a yin and a yang, being and doing. So we've always got to take a moment just to recalibrate and notice where we are. So placing one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Deep breath in. And slowly exhale out. Filling the belly all the way up. And exhale gently to release. Taking a moment to tap into yourself. Maybe there's tension on one side of the body but not the other. Bring our palms together and we'll begin the practice by chanting Om. Taking a deep inhale. Om. We pay our respects to Indigenous landowners and elders past, emerging and present. We give thanks to the rishis, yogis and sages who came before us to share this knowledge. We give thanks to Mother Earth, nature, the divine, God, whatever you want to call it, for guiding you safely to your mat. This morning I want you to breathe into your Sankalpa, gently asking yourself, where do I need to find balance in my life? Maybe it's with work, maybe it's with raising the kids and finding time for yourself again. We all need to find balance somewhere. Really breathing into this intention this morning. Where can I find balance? Placing your hands on your knees, continuing with your breath. Noticing how easy the breath flows in and out of the nose. Maybe it's a little blocked. Just becoming mindful and aware of your breathing. So we're going to start with our Nadi Shodhana because there's no better balancing practice. So getting your comfortable position, pointer and middle finger to the center of the eyebrows. Blocking the left nostril, inhaling through the right. Pausing, blocking the right nostril and exhaling through the left. Inhaling through the left. Pausing and exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing, blocking the right nostril and exhaling for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling through the left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing, blocking and exhaling through the right for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just continuing with your own breath here, balancing out the nadis. Finding balance in our parasympathetic nervous system, the one that lets us slow down, rest and digest. because your body needs to pause in order to heal. And as we breathe through our right, balancing our sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight, the bit of drive and adrenaline that gets us up in the morning and gets us going. One more round. On your next exhale, coming back to your seat, sitting nice and tall, either cross-legged or on your knees. And we'll breathe into our side stretches. So inhaling up through the left, balancing the in, exhaling down up through the right for our yang. Now you might know that I do this one quite often, but I just think there's no better way to start the practice than by really balancing out the feminine and masculine energies that we have. And this is the simplest way to do it. If you've got no idea where to start with that sort of stuff and with our energy channels and stuff, simply doing this, grounding down through the left and then grounding down through the right. And you can start getting a little bit more exaggerated with it as we go. So really bending over, feeling that side stretch, exhaling over to the other side. Our next one, we're going to stop and hold it. So left hand goes down, arm goes up, and really hold that stretch. Try to root down through your right hip, sending the hands up and over, and exhaling down. Coming back up and over, holding it there, maybe looking up underneath the chest, and then exhaling down. So coming over onto our hands and knees, we're going to drop straight into our child's pose. The knees go out, hips go back, hands walk out in front of us. Resting the forehead here. And just notice if you're tighter in one side than the other. If you're tighter in your left side, maybe you're coming too much from your feminine energy. If you're tighter on your right, your masculine is more dominant. Rolling the hands over to the left, placing the right hand on top of left. Just ease it back and down. Nice deep breaths into the side body. And gently walking the hands through the center over to the other side. Left hand on top of right. And walking back through the center. Waving up into your tabletop, we're going to step the left foot forward, finding our easy twist. So planting the right hand next to the left foot, inhaling the left hand all the way up, finding that nice twist. Taking deep breaths here. And just thinking about how the body has so many systems in place to find equilibrium or to find balance. So you have your whole pH system, making sure that your blood isn't too acidic or not. Then your heart constantly pumping blood, making sure that it's pumping enough to balance out all sides of the body. It's truly amazing how the body just wants to be constantly in balance. Exhaling, bending that right knee, grabbing it with the left hand, or opening up that hip flexor. Can be a pretty strong one first thing in the morning, so just being nice and gentle breathing into it as you sink lower into the hip. Exhaling, releasing that foot, and gently coming back to our runners, pushing ourselves back into our tabletop and sending the hips back again. Just releasing that back. Inhaling, waving up, this time stepping the right foot forward, finding our runners, and then opening up for our twist. As you know already, what we do on one side, we always do on the other. Opening up that chest. Then as you exhale, bending that left foot, turning to grab it with the right hand. Deep breaths into that hip flexor. One more deep breath here. And exhaling, releasing it back down and heading back into our child's pose one last time. So I love this child's pose. It's so restorative, nourishing, and just because we're starting off slowly doesn't mean we're not doing anything good for our body. There's a quote by Haruki Murakami that says, "What's nurtured slowly grows well." So stepping to the front of our mat and finding our forward fold, planting the hands down, releasing the back of the neck, and gently inhaling up, vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling the shoulders up, back and down. So we're going to step straight into our sun salutations. So inhaling all the way up, exhaling forward fold. Stepping the right foot back, we're dropping the knee, opening up, scooping that energy up from the floor, sinking into that hip flexor. Inhaling here, exhaling down, stepping back for our downward facing dog. Really sending those hips to the sky, releasing the back of the legs, pedaling one foot then the other. Moving forward to our plank, dropping to the knees or staying floating as well, and exhaling down, elbows close to ribs. Hands come out just slightly next to the chest. We inhale, rolling forward for our baby cobra, opening up that chest. Then exhaling back, downward facing dog. This time we're sending our right foot forward, dropping that left knee, scooping that energy up. Inhale and exhale to sink into that hip. Framing the foot, stepping that back foot to meet the front, and finding our forward fold. Nodding the head yes, shaking it no. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows. Then gently inhaling, vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling the shoulders up, back and down. Beautiful. So now we're going to move into our warriors. So you're going to step the left foot back about 3 to 4 feet apart, spinning the back foot so that the front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Bending into that front leg, we're sending the hip out and the knees out so you can see your big toe. So again, making sure that knee is tracking over the ankle. Inhaling, sending the energy out through your palms. You want to look above and over that front hand, really defining this energy, the stability here. Maybe sinking a little bit more with your exhale into that front leg. So this is warrior 2. Feeling the strength build in that front leg. You're going to inhale, flip that right hand so the palm is to the sky. Exhale, sending it back for our reverse warrior. So opening up that front side body. Deep breaths. Inhaling all the way to the belly. Exhaling out. Inhale back for our warrior 2. This time, we're going to raise our left hand up, slowly flowing through to frame that front foot, coming to our runner's lunge. From here, we're going to take that back foot all the way up for our 3-legged dog, finding a nice stretch here, building the strength in the back body and the glute. Then you're going to bring that knee all the way through the center, stepping it between the hand one more time, dropping that back foot and inhaling up for another warrior 2. We're just really getting used to this position, breathing here. You're going to point your toes to the side. So feet wider than your hips, toes pointing forward. You're going to inhale the hands all the way up and then exhale. Gently releasing yourself to forward fold, hands coming to the mat. Just allow your body to melt over your legs, releasing the lower back, the upper neck, melting into the pose. Taking another inhale here all the way into the belly. As you exhale, crawling your hands over to frame your left foot, coming into our runner's position. Getting ready to set up for our warrior 2 pose, dropping that back heel down and inhaling, spinning the arms all the way up into your warrior. Checking the stance in the front knee, maybe wiggling that back foot back a little bit more, finding what works for you here. Knee tracking over ankle, arms out nice and straight, in front and behind you. Making sure that our back hand is in line with our front. Breathing in here, feeling that strength build. On the inhale, you'll flip your hand, palm to the sky, and exhale into your reverse warrior again. Really opening up that front side body, maybe looking up under that arm. Deep breaths all the way into the belly. When you're ready, exhale to release that hand back to your warrior 2. Inhale that back hand up, circle sweeping it over, coming to frame your left foot. Finding your runner's lunge again. You're going to take that front foot, step it back to your 3-legged dog. sending that left leg high into the sky, turning on the glute, pointing the toes down, feeling nice and strong through the back body and the shoulders. When you inhale here, gently bring that knee through to chest, stepping it between your hands. Setting yourselves up here, lengthening that spine, feeling nice and strong. You're going to place that back foot down again, circle sweep the arms up into your warrior two. Really connecting with the stance here. Breathing all the way into the belly, dropping shoulders away from ears. Checking that everything is in alignment. Inhale, picking the toes up, pointing them to the side. Inhaling the hands all the way up. And exhaling to fold forward for your wide-legged fold. Hands connecting with the mat. Everything releasing from the backs of the legs and your back body. Enjoying this recovery pose until you heel toe your feet slightly back in and drop into your malasana. Again, if you had a block or a book or a pillow, you could place that under your bottom for a little bit more support. Pressing elbows into knees, knees into elbows. Just opening up those hips, allowing the spine to lengthen. And with each exhale, dropping a little bit lower to the mat. Inhale, place your hands on the mat. Gently lift your hips and heel toe your feet into the center line, holding your forward fold. Taking a deep breath here, lengthen the spine, then exhale, floating over those legs again. Then gently roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae, so you're standing in your Tadasana again. So now we're going to set ourselves up for our balancing poses. So we're going to really ground down into the earth with one foot, really connecting each toe into the mat and feeling that energy float up one leg while we balance on the other. So at first you might want to practice by just lifting the knee and just finding that balance, imagining that string is being pulled from the top of your head, tailbone tucked under, tummy on, shoulders rolled down and back. Taking a deep breath in, exhaling out. On your next inhale, gently come onto the toes of your right foot, and then your first tree may just be at your ankle, just getting to know and feel the shape. So turning your knee out, placing the sole of your foot against your standing leg. Perfectly good tree. If you like, you can even place it a little bit higher on the calf. Feeling the balance here, really connecting to the sole, to the standing leg. Try to avoid placing it into the inside of your knee, but rather place your foot below the knee or above the knee. Maybe your tree pose goes a little bit higher, getting nice and connected through the standing leg and coming to stillness, finding prayer pose. Gently opening that right knee, really feeling all the tips of your toes digging into the mat, finding your sense of balance and support here. It's okay if you wobble or play with your branches. Just know if you fall out, you just get back up again. If you are struggling to find your balance here, feel free to also come out of your tree and just practice lifting the right knee and placing it back on the ground. This way you're getting to practice your balance before you move into your ankle pose, or your calf, or take the knee a little bit higher. Wherever you are is totally fine. Draw everything into the midline, really sucking the belly on, really connecting that sole to the standing leg. Squaring the hips, squaring the shoulders. Focusing on your drishti, or your point of focus in front of you, something that isn't moving. When you're ready, play with your branches, move your arms, and then find your stillness. The mighty oak was once a nut that stood its ground. Gently bring your hands together, come out of tree and place your foot on the ground. Maybe shake out the standing leg, getting ready to do it all the same on the other side. Maybe lifting onto your toes, stretching your feet, and get ready to plant the other leg. So again, grounding all four corners of the feet into the mat. Gently inhale that left knee up first, finding a balance. Lifting it up, then down, and then find your tree pose. Spinning the knee out, opening up the hip, standing nice and tall. There is no rush to have to get your foot off the ground and onto your thigh. All of your trees are fine, no matter where you're at. Just meet yourself where you are today. Deep breath all the way into that standing foot, imagining the roots coming out from underneath it. The earth energy traveling up your leg. Moving your arms, playing with your branches. Noticing if you're more stable on one side than the other. You can hold your hands in the Jnana Mudra or bring your hands to heart center when you're ready to find stillness. Or maybe even you want to cactus them to help with your balance. Every tree is fine. One more deep breath all the way into the belly, allowing yourself to grow taller, stronger. When you're ready, lifting the knee and exhaling back to plant your feet on the ground. Lifting the toes up and down. Now we'll get ready to do a balance using both legs. Zip your legs together like one tree trunk. Inhale the arms up and rise onto your tiptoes, onto the balls of your feet. Really turning that midline on, getting as tall as possible. You should be able to feel that traveling all the way up your calves, up your back. And if you fall out, no problem. Just try again. Really playing with the balance here. Trying to get up as high as possible. And then exhale back down. Shaking out the legs. Shaking out the glutes. When you're ready, we'll set up to do it one more time. Really zipping the legs together and inhaling the hands all the way up. Coming to standing. That string is pulling all the way from the top of your head. Finding the balance. Then exhaling back down and shaking it out. Next, we'll move up to the top of our mats. Circle sweep the arms all the way up and exhaling forward fold, stretching out the back of the legs, the calves, the hamstrings. With your peace fingers, you're going to wrap them around your big toes. You're going to inhale to halfway lift, then exhale, pulling down towards your legs, bending at the elbows. Every inhale and exhale allowing you to melt a little more, maybe carving out the belly, drawing your chest closer to your thighs. Inhale, letting go of the hands, dropping the hips slowly to the mat until you come to a seated position, but trying to be as controlled as possible. Sit yourself up nice and straight, Then exhale, curling your spine down, vertebrae by vertebrae. So you're laying down on the mat. Hug your right knee into your chest, giving it a nice big squeeze. Now this sequence that we're going to do laying down now, we're going to do tomorrow standing up. So this is a nice little introduction. So with your peace fingers again, grab your big toe and stretch that leg up to the sky. If you can't reach your big toe, no problem. You may just grab your thigh, grab your calf. You could even grab a strap or a belt and wrap that around your foot. So if you wanted to use a strap, you would just put that around the ball of your foot and send the foot to the sky, letting the whole back of the leg open up. If you're not using a strap, holding the big toe with your peace fingers and allowing it just to open up. Inhaling here, then exhale, dropping that foot out to the side. With your left hand, hold your left hip to the mat so that you're just opening up through the hip. The left hip isn't trying to rise but glued to the mat as well. Sending a bit of love into the inner thigh muscles. Taking deep breaths here. Breathing all the way into the base of the belly and your lower back. On your next inhale, you're going to slowly bring that leg to the center line, grabbing your foot with your other hand, or maybe even your calf, and you're going to take the foot out over across the body, feeling a nice IT band stretch. So you may not go very far, but you don't have to feel that stretch up the side of your leg. Again, trying to keep your hips flat to the ground. Taking deep breaths to release all the way up the back of the leg and the side of the leg. This can be a very strong one, so if you have to pull back, please do. When you're ready, bring that knee into your chest, give it a nice big hug. And then you're going to exhale, switching legs. Inhaling the left one into your chest, giving it a good squeeze. And then when you're ready, you're going to grab that toe or your foot, your calf or your thigh, and send that foot up to the sky. Pulling the toes down towards the face, keeping the back flat on the mat. Breathing all the way into the belly. And on your exhale, sending that foot out to the left, opening up the groin, the hip flexor, your inner thighs. Holding the right hip down with your right hand. Still keeping that back flat on the mat. Allowing yourself to ease out of any tension. Showing yourself a little bit more love. Every day you turn up on this mat, you're showing yourself you deserve more time. You show yourself more love. The Buddha said, you yourself, as much as anyone in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. We tend to show love to so many other people, but we struggle with ourselves. The next inhale, you're going to bring that leg all the way up through the center, switching hands, and exhaling gently over the body, opening up that IT band stretch on the other side. Feeling that pull all the way up the leg from the lower back. Allowing yourself to just be still and gentle here. Remembering to be kind and compassionate with yourself. If this stretch is feeling a little bit strong, or if you can't touch your toes, compassion is the greatest form of love humans have to offer. And knowing that this is a practice, it gets easier as you go. Bringing both knees into the chest, massaging the lower back, maybe rolling side to side, giving yourself a nice big squeeze, and finding your happy baby, really pulling down into this position, releasing the lower back onto the mat, rolling side to side. And then when you come back to stillness, you're just going to really play with those feet, stretching one leg out, then the other, like a baby in its crib. And then as you exhale, pull the sides of the feet down, really opening up through the legs. Trying to pull the knees down beside your ribs. Feeling the entire length of the back on the mat. Then you're going to release your feet down and exhale out to your Savasana, taking up as much space as you need. Allowing this time for you to breathe all the way into the belly, to allow yourself to recover and to restore. Showing yourself that little bit more love. By doing the work to love ourselves more, I believe we will love each other better. Love is the bridge between you and everything. Imagine there's a bright white light encircling your whole body. This bright light keeps you protected, keeps your energy balanced, so you can love yourself from the inside while loving others on the outside. When you're ready, start wiggling your fingers and toes, bringing attention back to the mat. Gently roll yourself over onto the fetal position, protecting yourself, giving yourself one more bit of love and compassion before you start the day. Gently pushing into our hands, we'll come up to a seated position. As always, we'll close the class by chanting Om and Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bringing the hands together to heart center, taking a deep inhale. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Give yourselves thanks for turning up today. Thanks to each other for sharing this practice. And thanks to God, Mother Earth, nature, divinity, your best self, whatever you want to call it, for bringing you safely to your mat today. May you go forward knowing that you may always restore balance to your life. You just need to look within. Namaste.